This is how dictators' reigns end. Bedrooms, bathrooms, and marble hallways in their palaces stand open to a nation oppressed for years. After more than half a century of rule, the Assad regime in Syria has fallen. We have been waiting for this day for 50 years. All the people were silenced and could not speak out because of his tyranny. Today we thank and ask God to reward all those who contributed to this day, the day of liberation. We lived in a great prison, the great prison that was Syria. The Assad regime's bloody rule began with a military coup in the 1960s. From then on, first the father and then the son exercised power in an essentially one-man rule. Any critic of the government disappeared without a trace. Thank God we feel a great relief and we feel peace. We were terrified and experienced the nightmare of living in a huge prison. Thank God, God has granted everyone relief. Bashar was a master of diplomatic maneuvering. On the one hand, he openly criticized the United States, while on the other, he cooperated with the CIA in the fight against al-Qaeda. However, he made alliances primarily with like-minded regimes. Iran and Russia became key. The Kremlin has spent years building its network of influence in the Middle East, precisely with Assad's cooperation. It is in Syria that 2 Russian military bases are located, which today became a channel for the evacuation of Russian soldiers. Moscow has warned the rebels that attempts to attack Russian soldiers will be met with a response. But it appears that the new authorities in Damascus will not take any favors from the Russians. This victory, my brothers, is a new chapter in the history of the entire Islamic nation. It is a turning point for the region. How many dangers have we avoided? Assad has handed Syria over to Iranian ambitions, spreading sectarianism and corruption throughout the country. The problem is that for now, Syria is in chaos. The offensive against Assad involved independently of each other 3 major groups. All are competing with each other, all have territorial gains. Each wants to grab as much as possible for itself.
However, there are many political and military actors in Syria that are at odds with each other, and all of them want to have their seat at the negotiating table, and all of them want their stake in what Syria will look like going forward. It is unclear whether they will be able to settle their differences.
And that raises fears of another round of civil war between the rebels. At risk are the Kurds, today under attack by pro-Turkish militias. Religious minorities are also at risk. According to humanitarian organizations, internal fighting in Syria could lead to an exodus of up to 1.5 million refugees who could move toward Europe.